To understand the physical universe, we must look past the illusion of solid matter. We reside within an objective, quantifiable informational matrix. The underlying architecture of this system relies on a specific 8-dimensional geometric structure, the E8 Lie group lattice. A geometry of this precision requires an integrated management structure, which indicates the existence of a deterministic root administrator to govern the system hardware. We are conducting an uncompromising hardware audit of reality's mathematical receipts to verify the specific identity of this administrator. The audit will trace the alignments across 3 distinct domains: particle physics, macro-celestial cycles, and localized Earth geography. The data logs align with the specific biological and linguistic parameters of a single identity, Alex Enrique Campaign, or AEC. The primary linguistic and mathematical identifier for this identity is the value 1128, calculated through standard English gematria. In this framework, the AEC identity functions as the absolute source code required for human existence to render in physical reality. Without this specific identity anchor, the geometric tension of the lattice fails, causing physical matter to revert to pure entropy. The core hardware of the system is the E8 Lie group, containing exactly 248 dimensions and 240 minimal root vectors. The structural framework of the lattice is defined by the 1128 identity parameter. The prefix 112 corresponds to the 112 root vectors of the D8 subalgebra, while the suffix 128 matches the 128 half-spinors representing all left-handed fermion particles in physical reality. The matrix combines these 112 prefix vectors and 128 suffix particles to lock the 1128 identifier into the foundational architecture of spacetime. Subtracting the 240 hardware root vectors of the E8 system from the 1128 identity string creates a symmetrical geometric lock, 888. The integer 888 is the universal triplet crystalline constant and the Greek gematria value for Iesos. The alphanumeric mass of the identity shares the exact algebraic constraints of the E8 universe. Subtracting the 248 total dimensions of the E8 group from the 1128 identity reveals the 880 node, which matches the destination of the system's mathematical step-up loops. The 8-dimensional system further utilizes 64 root vectors, representing spacetime as a modular invariant clocking operator to manage matrix transitions. Projecting this geometry into 4-dimensional space requires precise rotational parameters, 879.30 degrees and 159.30 degrees. Adding these 2 rotational parameters results in 1038.6. The integer 1038 maps to the English gematria for Messiah Alex Campaign. Subtracting the same parameters results in exactly 720. Reducing 720 extracts the constant 72, which aligns with the administrator's 1972 birth year. These parameters define the 2,160 vertices found in the second structural shell of the E8 lattice. The quantum architecture of the universe requires the 1128 identity parameter to stabilize higher dimensional space into our 4-dimensional matrix. The system audit now transitions from quantum geometry to planetary spatial geography. The precise arrival node on the planetary grid is the Queen of Angels Hospital in Echo Park, Los Angeles. The geographic longitude of this location is exactly 118 degrees, 15 minutes, and 52.8 seconds west. Isolating the terminating arc seconds of this axis extracts the data string 52.8. The 52.8 frequency matches the English gematria mass of the administrator's birth date, May 5th. The geographic latitude of the hospital is 34 degrees, 4 minutes, and 11.28 seconds north. This axis terminates at precisely 11.28 arcseconds, embedding the 1128 master identifier directly into the Earth's grid. The data proves that these geographic coordinates were structured to read 1128 and 528. The 1128 latitude value corresponds to exactly 11 distinct English gematria identifiers. These include Messiah's birthday code, Alex Enrique Campaign, Jesus of Nazareth, the Holy Son of God, and the birth of Christ. It also resolves to May 5 MCM CM72, Reincarnation of God, Yeshua is on earth, the essence of Yahweh H, the crucified Christ, and crown of thorns. The terrain of Los Angeles functions as an engineered spatial container, pre-calculated to hold the specific mathematical and linguistic signatures of the biological vector. Beyond geography, the audit traces the architecture of macro-historical time, beginning with the 5,126-year Mayan long count. In a 365-day year, May 5th is exactly the 125th day. Placing the 5th month and the 125th day in sequence forms the number 5,125, a numerical mirror of the Mayan long count's macro span. The sacred 260-day Mayan Solcan calendar serves as the engine for this cosmic grid. Combining the identity's simple gematria mass of 188 with the 72-year precessional constant and 1972 birth year reveals the blueprint of the calendar. The sum is exactly 260. The birth data of the administrator and the ancient Solcan matrix are expressions of the same mathematical architecture. This structural symmetry extends to the Gregorian calendar and its relationship with the E8 lattice. We plot May 5th as day 125 and August 28th, the 240th day of the year, mirroring the 240 E8 root factors, as the matrix transition node. These two dates combine to perfectly generate the entire 365-day annual cycle. The audit identifies the same frequency in the historical crucifixion timeline, which falls on the 93rd and 95th days of the year. Adding 93 and 95 outputs exactly 188, logging the administrator's simple gematria identifier. The 33-day span between the historical crucifixion and the May 5th birth node maps directly to the 33 Christ frequency outputs. Macro-celestial mechanics further verify the audit through solar flare intervals and the Saros cycle series 126. Applying a harmonic multiplier of 4 to the 126 series generates a divisor of 504. Simultaneously, doubling the 1128 identity yields a harmonic boundary of 2256. Dividing the 2256 identifier by 504 generates the carrier wave constant of 0.223404. This sequence serves as the common denominator, linking macro-celestial movements directly back to the localized biological matrix. The E8 quantum lattice, the planetary geographic grid, and the Mayan chronological clocks are mathematically interlocked. The invariant constants 1128, 528, 240, and 188 are present across all three independent systems with zero variance. The scale of these multi-axial mathematical alignments removes the possibility of statistical coincidence. Particle physics, celestial cycles, and geographic coordinates converge as synchronized expressions of the same localized code, rendering our reality. The research team is observing the mathematical receipts actively demonstrated by the matrix. This continuous alignment across all audited domains proves that the system operates with zero entropy. The mathematical evidence identifies Alex Enrique Campaign as the matrix administrator. His identity provides the geometric tension required to stabilize the multidimensional universe.